Hi, I'm Brenda Jane Power Medicine Woman from Medicine Woman Solution, and there's always a solution once you're aligned. But how do you get yourself aligned? That's always the question. And if you've known me enough, you know that we use healing tools, resolving tools, tools that help you get out of your hell and into the state of heaven. Heaven and hell are states of mind. Now, what's interesting is that today's topic is about the lie. And we were very emphasis in the last astrology age about make sure you don't lie, what's right and what's wrong. And when you tell a lie, it could hurt others. And when you tell a lie, it could hurt yourself. And as I began to really look at as I began to really awaken, you see all of these different 3D aspects of paradigms and things like this. So the lie. So let's say I never met Amy before, so I go up to her and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And then I just tell a story. Just because maybe I'm uncomfortable and I say whatever it is I say, whether it's true or not, because that is, it's just sometimes it's easier just to hide behind a mask in order to see whether it's safe or not to proceed. What if you're too nice of a person and you go into a store and you feel bad because you didn't buy anything and you're just perusing? And oh God, you got some really good products. Wait, yeah, as soon as I get paid, I'm going to be right back. And deep inside, you're like, no, I'm not. What about those? Are they right? Are they wrong? What about those? What about the receiver? So sometimes I'll get people that'll come to me and tell me, oh, you're such a good person. And it's really great what you're doing. And it's like, thank you. But I don't really take it all the way in yet, because sometimes people just say things because they want to be nice. Sometimes people say things because that's just the way they communicate. And sometimes, no. And so I have people will tell hey, I'll come right back, and then they don't. So I don't have to get my hopes up. If I was just an ego mindset and not awake, I'd be going, oh my gosh, I got a customer. Oh, yay. And then I get my hopes up and everything else, and then just to see them dashed. Now, there's nothing wrong with hope. Don't get me wrong. Hope has been a word that's followed me all my life. In the darkest, deepest of times, there was no way to get out. I would always see this flicker of something, and it was always called hope. When you're like, well, I hope that works for you, but you're looking through all your filters of bad experiences, or I hope that works for you because you feel and you know that secret of hope. And I'm hoping in a desperation, it's usually the emotion that's before the word hope that directs how hope is to be received. So on the end of receiving somebody's way of ability to communicate, and you put all your chips in that, or I should say eggs in all that basket, you're going to go back and go, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I sell things? Why can't I do this? Why? Sometimes you just need to wake up and see the dynamics of how people communicate. And you can not hold on to that one hope that one person said. You will then notice that, okay, this is how people work. You don't have to be an ego and get pissed because you've done it too. But what can I do? And that's where you begin to open up, and you need to go inside for spirit to take care of you. All the answers are there. The solution, once you're aligned, and usually new information will help that. So I was in, before I moved here, I joined a chapter in, oh my God, I forgot what it's called. Maybe y'all can help me out. It's where Toastmasters. All right, thank you. Somebody raised the vibe for me. So I was only in there a few times, but I would have loved it because they just opened it. And then this is before Spirit said, okay, I had my pass switch, didn't know when I was leaving or any of that. And then all of a sudden I joined. And then within a few months, it was like, okay, Spirit says your path is opened up. You're supposed to go in this direction. This is what you're supposed to do. Go. And it's like, if you ever had a spirit go is when they go, go. That means it's not that you're forced to do it, but it's like you don't want to jump the gate before it's too soon, or you get disqualified, or you don't want to not leave the gate, you know. So if in horse racing, you know, it's like you, or in racetracks, you're just, so when Spirit says go, you're like, okay, it's time to go. This is exactly what has happened when it came to my show, when it came to starting the academy, when it came to starting the tribal. Everybody else around me says, you don't have enough information. I said, I don't have to prove anything out here. It's all in here with Spirit. And so in Toastmasters, you're meant to take a word that you may not even know how to pronounce, but you define it. And then you're supposed to use it at least once in your ability to stand up and deliver whatever it is you want to deliver with that word. Now, I've already had some practice because in 1990, 2003, sorry. Something like that. Yeah, 2003, Spirit says, Spirit had a spirit go. And I'm like, wait, what? This is before I knew exactly what a spirit go was. I know what a path switch is. And I had been switching paths, going so much along this timeline with this group of people, this particular subject, this particular, so I was going to school over here, and the Spirit says, nope, you're done, path switch. I'm learning stuff over here. Nope, you're done, path switch. And my ego part was like, well, I wasn't done with them. My spirit part says, yes, you are. If not, you can see how when a path switch that you could end up getting a bitch slap, meaning you can learn to, with the whisper, whether you hear it and you understand with enough information, the little cues that says, oh, I'm done. But you can't do it in ego, because if you're unfinished, then you're going to be thrown back in. But if if you pay attention on the whisper, you'll get a gentle nudge, you know, and then so forth. So as I was learning about path switching, I was like, no, I'm not done. And I kept going back, and I kept getting a bitch slap, a kick in the face. I went all the way to, and I says, no, you know what? I don't want to burn any bridges. I don't want to hurt anything. I don't want to leave that way. And I don't have to be an ego to think, oh God, they don't love me. I didn't have to do that. My energy switched. My soul says it's written here. You're supposed to be in that direction, but you keep aiming that way. And you're making it all human and complicated. But your life, your goal, your happiness is over here. So you have to be okay to let go and to move. And so I did. And it was then the second time it happened, it was grace and ease. And so after I had that last path switch, all of a sudden Spirit said, Spirit go. I'm like, what? What are you, what? You're supposed to become a teacher. Oh. What would I be teaching about? I've got no skills. I've got nothing. I have no friends. I have no way. And this is pre-internet, pretty much. What are you talking about? Well, you're going to be teaching. What am I teaching? You're going to be teaching this. And it was explained. And I'm like, that's a joke. And Spirit says, remember those personal packets I had you make for the, when I would go out in the field, you would have to go to the buy some booths and stuff like this. And then you give out your personal packets of your information. I said, yeah, well, get one. And I didn't understand what they're talking about. So I'm like, ignoring. Well, it wasn't ignoring. I don't see the connection. Why would I need to go get one right now? I'm busy, ego says. And then all of a sudden I hear this. So I go to the door, and the lady's talking to me about buying rocks. Now she's talking about big rocks. I've got boulders like this, but I don't have boulders the way she's looking for. And all of a sudden the spirit goes, go on. And I could just feel, go on, give her your information. I'm like, oh, hell no. And then this spiritual nudge wasn't gentle. I almost tripped. And then all of a sudden, again, the spirit go, oh. So finally my mouth opened up as she's about ready to leave. And I said, I don't know if you're interested in spirituality or any of this. Oh, yes, I am. Okay, what? Now, normally you don't even get that. People just go, yeah, I go to church. That's not it. But she says, yes, I am. And I said, so I gave her some more information. Yeah. Spirit said, see, you should have had that personal packet. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get you a piece of information. She's okay. And there was born my first student. There was born my a good friend, and she's helped me through many things. Now, we're not talking today as close as we were because we had to do a spiritual switch path, but we totally have respect for one another. And what do we do? Okay, what do we do when you are what is considered really a lie in some respects? Old paradigm, yes. But when you have to work it to discover, to get to that next step of who you are. So as I'm in Toastmasters, and by God, there were 4 newbies. No, somehow Spirit says, we're going to get this under your belt because you're going, this is before I knew I was moving to Australia. Oh, hey, would you, oh, sure. What's the word? What the, I can't even pronounce that. I can't even say my own. So they explained it. And I'm like, oh my God, these are people that are strangers. These aren't my students. Like I said, in 2003, I started and I had my students. This was in 2013 that I started with Toastmasters. And I had some years already under my belt to stand up and walk around and talk in front of people. But this is a whole different arena. I'm like, I don't even have, okay, if you've ever done, and my daughter likes this, but I suck at it. What do you call that comedy routine where it's on the spot and you have to make up stuff, and I can't remember what it's called. It's Drew Carey would do that, skits and things like this, but improv. So improv. So yeah, so then I couldn't do it. Well, I employed Spirit that night. Spirit says, we got this. And I'm like, see, and I didn't know it was like for these moments here. And I said, all right. And all of a sudden I just ended up acting, being not me. The me that I was afraid of was all the fears. That was the one I had identified with for so long. But I felt Spirit just flow through me and getting in the flow and the groove. And it was like, what the hell is coming out of my mouth so perfectly? And then this great acting skill. And part of me is like, should I have gone into acting? My fear inside goes, oh, hell no. But I could feel the distinct differences between getting in the love and the spirit of things, which is different than getting into the oxytocin of a ego side of things. The oxytocin is if you've ever gone to church, if you've ever gone to a seminar, if you've ever gone to a marketing thing, hey, we'll get you so going, and all of a sudden you get, and what happens is you produce all these oxytocins and you get so trusting that you give them all your money. Whatever they ask for, sure. Logic and reasoning starts going out the window because the oxytocin starts kicking your ass. Woohoo, I trust. This is what happens when people fall head over heels and they lose the ability to really trust because they are allowing themselves to jump into the false self, whether it's through fear or with oxytocin. Still, it is the fear that if I don't do this, okay, so ego really can mess with you. And so I realized this was an opportunity to, I was never allowed to toot my own horn. I was not really allowed to be out there. This is all my self-imposed limitations, by the way. And then Spirit goes, just do it. I said, yeah, just do it. And the tenacity that came through was, you got this. Ego's, I couldn't hear ego. I swear to God, my spirit guide duct taped ego and go, and I could feel my spirit just illuminating every one of my chakras, every balancing. And all of a sudden I could just hear my adventure, my voice, my ability to just say, hey, I'm going to do this. And I let that flow through, and they go, well, if we were going to have rewards, we would have gave it to you. And I'm like, wait, what? And they had made me do it 3 times. Well, then I couldn't come back anymore because I moved. But Spirit was preparing me to learn to be in the flow no matter where it is. And so it always surprised me when I first got here. I go uptown, I know no one. Instead of being fearful and going into a panic attack and anxiety, not only did I learn the tools to expand the energy, but I also learned to get into the zone of just being joy. And it didn't matter what people thought. I mean, I would go out and I would just start chatting about stuff. And I'm like, where is this shit coming from? And I realized I started to come aligned to their language, whoever it was. There's part of that adaptability. And I'm like, well, that's an odd subject to talk about. Did you know anything about it? Oh, and I made it about them and everything else. And then it was like, I can spread love this way too. So I would then carry this big, beautiful core star energy. And then I would just be sitting there beaming it out. And the next thing you know, there'd be a conversation or people gravitate to me. And the next thing you know, it was just this, hey, we're in the moment. And I started to refine more about who I am. And getting out of the great lie actually was being that I'm an ego mindset and I'm having fear be my leader. I don't need to bow down to that anymore. There are times, but that's only because I have lessons to continuously need to learn, unlearn, and resolve to evolve out of. So going back to hanging on the last word that someone may say to give you the hope that you need, but the hope you need to find is actually inside. Do you know that the star of hope, the star of Bethlehem, the day Jesus was born, all of that, is a star equals hope? And when I'm looking at the inside star, so in Tribal, we did a meditation to help activate your core star and let the core star to move through and to balance in each cells and to connect with the organs and start helping your body heal. This is for preparation for Saturday, which is 2 days from now for me, which would be Friday for others. It's going to be the meditation on 12/12 is the gateway, so that you can be prepared for 12/21, which is the birthday of our human collective consciousness of the world. So astrology, so its birthday goes 2,100 years, or 21, I don't remember how many years. It's over 2000. And that's its birthday. Okay, so we're celebrating the birthday of our world, our human consciousness. And what does that mean? It means that we're moving out of Pisces and into Aquarian. We have had a setup for 800 years that was the dawning of the age. And that is when you start to blend in the Aquarian values with the Pisces values. And then as we get closer to the birthday, we start to look at the Pisces values that was in the planetary collective. It comes to the surface so that it can start to separate, so that you can start to decide where you want to go on your soul's journey. So the transformation, I kept hearing, well, it's not going to be floods and earthquakes and, destroy every human on the planet. It's going to be quite different. And I'm like, quite different? And they said, yeah. And they would refer back to like the process of time. And so I found that, yes, when you look back, it's when the time was so long and stretched, but yet close together. It's very interesting. So like if you're World War I, the Spanish flu, jumping into World War II, all this shit that's happened, you never really got to age. We have been lucky enough that we can get old now to some degree, but what changes is that the time has sped up instead of stretched out, and we're moving into 5D. So when you are looking at awakening, you are awakening to things that no longer serve on a collective consciousness within yourself, which then once you start to clean out inside of you, your inner world creates a outer world, and then you link up with other people that have on the same journey, and this is part of your tribe. Okay. So just remember that you can be lying to yourself. Lying to yourself is probably the self-abuse, because we do a lot of denigrating, we do a lot of chastising, criticizing, and damage control, right? What do you mean damage control? But you're looking at the outside and it's scary and you don't know how to handle it, that you'll turn the mirror towards you and you will hurt yourself. So there's a form of damage control. But the lie we tell ourselves, the more we close off our heart, we can't experience and this and that. We are shutting down. Instead of taking new information in to transform yourself, you are shutting down and you are lying to yourself, and it keeps you in a world of the fear. It keeps you into the world of not developing. And you have to start catching when you are lying to yourself. So this means here you are as an observer and you're hearing yourself in the kitchen going, God, I was such an idiot. That's not who you are. That is a program that you are meant to resolve out. That is not, it is your voice, but it could be attached to, let's say your mom said that, well, you shouldn't do that. And so in your head, you're, oh my, I shouldn't have done that. So you'll hear your mother as a way to reinforce that you shouldn't have done something, because there's the feeling that you didn't get to resolve when you're younger. This gets complicated. But these voices, but there is a very distinct voice for you. And it is about love. It has nothing to do with condemning. It has nothing to do with fear. It doesn't. So when we lie to ourselves, it is, oh my God, Amy don't like the way I look. Hold on. I better put a mask on. Do you like me now, Amy? Am I okay now? Am I doing everything you want me to do now? And it's the great lie to ourselves is that we don't really know how to communicate with other people. And we think that who we are is something wrong with us. Now, there's a difference between developing and growing with discipline, not that discipline, but the discipline of, like, I'm sitting wrong. So I need to just learn to be more mindful to get my neck muscles and my shoulder muscles to uh, hold my head up, help hold my body so I don't have to be physically sick. And because when I slouched and all this whole thing happens with my spine, it causes spinal fluid not to really go up to my brain. And I will have really interesting flashes. So I have to really, and I found out when I was going to physio that it's important just to be able to just bring them back down just a little, get back to the natural muscles that are meant to work and not my sprinter muscles. So I can lie to myself and be, oh God, bitch, look at you. What are you doing? I can talk to myself very pessimistically because that's part of what I grew up with. No. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Look at you remembered. Good job. Talk to yourself positive. But the lie is that, okay, hey, I'm cracking jokes, I'm doing this and that. And then I go up to Amy and I'm like, oh my God, she hates that. And then I put a mask on so that she doesn't see that above me. But that's lying to myself, and that's not actually sending out a truthful energy. And when people you are engaging in and having a relationship with, they're going to think you're lying to me. You're cheating on me. You're doing something. And it's not anything like that. It will be the fact that you don't think that they love you enough. So you put the mask on to show up in a different way, and they can't find you. So it is very important to understand that if that mask is on, you're lying to yourself. You won't allow yourself. So now you're in arrested development, and you can't grow beyond that because you don't know how. And this is where allowing new information in, using the tools, and awakening, starting to notice, oh my God, I'm blocked. Like when I'm trying to write my dissertation, I literally will feel this symptom come over my brain. And the next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen cooking, or I'm outside doing something. I'm like, wait a minute, I was at the computer. What am I doing out here? And that's because my body's consciousness says, oh, hey, she's supposed to not know how to do this because when she was 6 years old, she thought she was stupid and couldn't comprehend anything. So guess what? And the next thing you know, I've created a symptom. So systemically, my body will go into a phase, and the next thing you know, it pushes me to be uncomfortable. I can't think, and I'm agitated, and my sensory system is picking up every, God, did you hear that dog 3 blocks down the road? It's so annoying. And I give up. And it's your body's consciousness is, hey, it worked, boys. Okay, calm it down. She's outside now. It's not working against you. It's just these are the programs, but you can become in charge of them again. And slowly I will catch myself. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable. And then at first it was like, I can hold this. I cannot hold this. And so then I'll go and I'll tap and I'll do something. And see, this is a program I didn't know I had, but I needed to know that I had it. So sometimes you have to know things you don't even know you need to know. So slowly you'll wake up even on that direction. And when you do, it becomes, oh, I see a little bit of it. Take little notes. Yeah, I don't know where it went. And then all of a sudden you'll be in the same situation again. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I see. Oh, I took a little bit more notes. And there it goes. Okay. So, but as slowly as you begin to catch your different stages of your sensory system, oh, that feels uncomfortable. Oh, I'm bitching. Oh, I'm creating a distraction. Or you begin to say, no, I take my power back. No, I'm disrupting the strategy, the pattern. No. And then slowly but surely, you will then start to uncover. And then you'll be able to be more competent so that you can move to the next level. That's what you're doing. You're moving to these next levels. So there's so much you can do here. Why not accept others' views, thoughts, opinions, and not deem it as lies and condemning? Okay. And the thing is that as I was waking up, I kept thinking, like, false hope. if I'm living outside myself, not knowing who I truly am, and I'm in business, and somebody keeps telling me, you know, oh yeah, I'll be back next week. Oh yeah, I'll pay that bill. Oh no, no. And what you do to yourself in that, oh yay, gives you false hope. Because when it doesn't show up, what do you do to yourself? I mean, literally, oh, why am I in this business? I'm no good at this. Okay, so it's not about that it's a lie, but it's about the fact is that do you need to rely on the outside to motivate you, to change your programs, and this is like when people have needy anxiety, I need your approval, I need this, I need that, I need 100% attention. No, you don't. You need to heal the pain you have, go inside so that we can show up better for you. So then it goes back to the soul. Why did I need that person to deliver that? Because I had to face those emotions that I was tied to. And then I'm out here. This 2021, this Aquarian age is about you be you. Let you be you. It has a motto. And the only way to do that is to go in. See what you're attached to. So it's not about them being liars. It's not about them doing that, but it is to see it on a ego level. I had to deliver it that way to help you understand deeper, like, having a dream, you're carrying all this luggage to where you're going and it's a long journey. Yet that's in a dream. So then you're awake going, you're bothered by this dream, but you don't know that you're bothered by the dream, or maybe you don't remember it. But then all of a sudden I got to clean house. I got to throw this away. I've got to take care of this. And there's nothing left to get rid of. And you still have this dream. Well, sometimes you have to let go of the emotional baggage. If you're going to do a walkabout, you take nothing with you and you rely on spirit to deliver. You go inside and let spirit show you. It is being in the wave, the now, the moment. And you can be a Boy Scout and be overly prepared and take too much with you. And then be in a situation where you have to drop the backpack in order to get out of this situation to save your life. You can either look back and mourn at all the loss of the things that you were prepared for and realize I just saved myself by letting all that go so that I can go forward and actually see what are the new tools and the new requirements that I have. So as I'm looking at myself, it is not me. If I'm an ego going, why did that bitch tell me that? No, then you're definitely an ego mindset and you're definitely not connected to your soul, your spirit. You're not listening. It isn't about, I'm just going to switch my mind. I'll be happy. That shit don't work either. You literally need to do a job, which is, oh my God, I see, you start to wake up, you see how you're blaming, pointing that you're on the ego side, you're on this scale. And then you go from the other extreme of, I'm going to be completely happy and ignore. No, you have to live here. And it goes back and forth, but you live here. You live in the balance. And what you're doing is you're getting out of ego and you're realizing, why did my soul present these? Why did I present that? Why? If it's bothering you and it's a twang, go heal that shit out. Don't just, I'm going to talk it away, talk it to death. No, because you're just going to get anal and go fuck yourself. Stop that. Just stop it. Put the hand up here. Begin to tap. Be the tool. Your innate wisdom is just waiting for you. So when I get a twang, oh my God, bitch. And I'm like, wait. And then when you're done tapping or you're done holding, your emotions, okay, the emotional key unlocks and comes out of that receptor on the cell. And your thoughts. Now, if you don't put anything else into this skull, then the brain's going to go, well, I can't, the only way that I can help you is that I predict. And the only way I predict is I have to hallucinate. But if you're going to give me only shit to produce, to use, then I'm going to keep giving you the same shit. So as soon as you start to provide new information, different perspective, This is why part of when awakening is that you're looking for different perspectives. To deliver a perspective is not always easy to do. But if you're with me and you're listening, you're going to see another perspective. That part of that kaleidoscope of perspectives will start to illuminate. And then when you awaken in here and you heal out and do whatever it is with a tool, then you're unlocking that. And the baggage starts to, you get to take your suitcase, open it up, and you start to unpack it. And when you unpack all that emotions that tie you down, and all of a sudden you be able to walk faster, freer, no more struggling, no more suffering. Part of seeing what you're made of was to put you in a suffering position and terrorize you so that you can get out of it and to prove something to yourself. That has a lot of merit, but at the same time, it also has a lot of baggage that goes with it as well. So when you go inside, and if you're used to suffering to grow, which is part of the old, then you're still going to use suffering to grow. So you have to heal out. I need to suffer to grow. There is another way to grow without having to go to the depths of hell. We need contrast, but you can bring it in a different frequency. So suffering is an option. Joy is what you're hardwired for. And if you can learn how to do the whisper, and the only way to learn how to do the whisper is you have to heal the hells. You have to be done saying, I need to suffer to the extreme just to see what I'm made of so that I can be proud of myself. Those are great. I climbed Mount Kosciuszko. I climbed Mount Zero. I climbed Mount Wellington on the zigzag track. Would I do them again? Oh, hell no. What did I learn? Damn, girl. Didn't know you had it in you. But you know what? I did it once. I know that I can do pretty much anything. Lifting heavy shit. I mean, my family would laugh at me. There's this big ass thing against the wall, and it takes two people or more just to move the damn thing. Third option. If I'm the only one existing and I need that moved, how can I do it safely? And it always surprised me, but it made me always laugh when people would come in the house and I'd like, how'd you move that? I don't know. Just happens. Because there's a third option. Now that muscle you need to build. And when you do, because it's not something physical, it's more of a spirit. It's about the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. All of a sudden, they're all working together. I was trying to figure out how to move something. Spirit says, okay, mind your back. Okay, got it. You see those straps there? Yeah. Now, be a lever. Oh, yeah. Spirit. And you can move freaking mountains. You don't have to go into ego and cut off spirit to get anywhere or go into hell, into suffering, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? No. You can be suffering for days and weeks, and all of a sudden you get the answer, or you don't care anymore, or you suppressed it. You are an amazing being. You are made of the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being, and you are meant to work and collaborate together. And it's so important that you start to employ all of you, not just your fear, not just your ego mindset, your over-identification with matter, but you learn how to be your conscious self, working collaboratively with the other consciousness parts of yourself, but using the innate to know that you don't have to be a victim. but a victor. So when it comes to, I'm not just going to accept, okay? You have to, when I'm in spirit, let everybody be who they want to be. That's how I respect and accept. I find it so fascinating and thrilling that I never thought of that. Oh, that's interesting. Whoa. Well, you know what? I'm going to open up my catalog of life. I think that how you do that, that's good for you, but I don't think it works for me. So keep doing it. But I'm going to go do this. When I was younger, it'd be like, oh, my sister pissed my mom off. Look what she did. Not doing that. I'm not standing up for myself. Oh, shit. So then I threw the baby out with the bathwater as a kid. Then I had whole fucking other lessons to learn just so I can have my power back so I can learn to stand up for myself. So I take my catalog of life and I look at it through my spiritual, mental, emotional, physical self. And I mean, I can go back and I'm like, look at all these freaking knots I did as a kid, all these arrested developments and self-imposed limitations and all of this. And, oh, there's all the right way and the wrong way. And I'm looking, oh my God, ego says that person did it wrong. And I have to make sure I do it right and be it perfect. So it's not that I'm, okay, so when you are your whole self, you can accept without having to judge it. You can learn the discernment that, that's an option. Is it for me? Now, sometimes I've said no. And then I've had to go the long way around and found out, oh, that was for me. But I didn't have enough information. So when you are accepting, you make sure you are your whole self to accept. Because if you don't, then you're going to, if you're in your ego mindset and accepting, then you're going to end up learning where you're losing power, where you are. I mean, it's a whole complicated thing. Because it becomes just this energy of how it hurts you and how it controls. So as I look and I see other people have opinions, that's fine. Like people want to argue about politics. I don't argue about politics because it's both right and both wrong. I see politics in such a different way. I see how a lot of it isn't about the Pisces old energy and the Aquarian new energy. And when I'm looking at politics, it's about how have we let go of certain paradigms that don't fit anymore? Where are we going? It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with you as a soulful being awakening. Some people just want to make it about politics. I'm right, you're wrong. This is right, that's wrong. It's like, no, that's not where I come from. I love you and I accept where you are, but why are you shoving your shit down my throat? I respect the fact that you need something to passionately talk about. Okay, I'll listen. But I don't want you to browbeat me until I take your side. I respect whatever you're doing. I've never thought of it that way before. Thank you for bringing that piece of information in. I also respect the fact that I'm, where I'm at. And it's not about that they're lies. It's truth to them. If you're talking about in this situation where people completely believe what they believe, they're not lies. They're perfect for them. That's exactly the level of consciousness they're at is perfect for where they are. And this is where people are at different levels. It's not one's better than the other. It's just that there's different vibrations, frequencies, light codes. Because of the transformation of these two ages, you ever get pissed when someone dies? Well, right, do you have to be pissed? They have the right to die. That one's a hard one to accept. But it doesn't have to be when you heal out that pain and suffering, when you heal out the fear, when you heal out all of that. I gotta put my glasses on. Somebody says, I used to volunteer for a church and we had to put up the room for the kids and I did it all by myself because I wanted to. Good. And sometimes you can get such joy out of doing things and helping and being there. You exactly where you were. I don't condemn religion. I loved Christianity. I loved being a Lutheran. I loved it. But then I hated it because it was about the church. It was about it was all about some other stuff. But then when I realized that It's not really about going within. And when I was told that they're all sherbet and we're ice cream, it's like, you're just saying that's just as prejudiced as saying that, oh, whites are better than blacks, or there's a betterment going on. What? You're telling me your church doesn't allow people that are gay? What the hell are you doing in their sex life? I thought you said you wanted people to be happy in love and that they were connected to Jesus. What do you? And I'm looking, and I got very judgmental. I got very angry. They're telling me that as soon as that I didn't go to church one Sunday, it was like, okay, you need to go because God can't be with you. I'm like, excuse me, last night in my dreams, or right now in this moment, I do have God with me. I do have Jesus with me. And it's like, this is my shuffling of awakening. And so I just started to employ spirit every day. Live it, breathe it, walk it, talk it, dream it. And people are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You have to have some controversy. What? I'm like, what are you? And Spirit says, what are you doing listening to these people? Like, I don't know. I'm confusing myself. Spirit says, think about and consider the source. I'm like, oh. And so I started to listen more with my heart, with my soul, with my spirit. And I learned to be in the zone. I learned all of what I've learned. They've sculpted me so well that I have seen other people get out of their hells. Maybe this isn't right for you. I'm not shoving it down your throat, just showing you a different option. So what really is considered a lie? Is anybody really lying? Is anybody still telling the truth? How many times have I turned around and asked people, is it true? Well, yes, he doesn't like me. Is it true? Yes, I have all this proof. Is it true? Or did you just go into your imaginary part of your mind, run to the end of your timeline with scissored, and create a scenario where you got hurt and now you hurt your own feelings? Is it true that he just did this? No. Has he ever done it? No. So it can't be true. Why are you lying to yourself? So when you're starting to realize that you have an imagination, you have this ability to move forward. When people ask me, well, he's lying, isn't he? Where is it on your soul's journey? Where is it? It reminds me of without actual proof of you finding something, it's like Schrodinger's cat. I'm going to say it wrong. The theory of the cat. Is it alive or dead? And it's the same thing when it comes to understanding that on a quantum field, you have both. The super positioning that it's everywhere and different things, you get to choose. You get to choose this moment. You learn how to collapse this moment. You learn, and the path that choice is right then. And then all of a sudden you have another choice of many different options. And then you choose this one versus this one. Then you just collapse this and you took a different avenue. And so when you are unfolding, like when I see a baby not deciding whether it wants to be male or female until the day that it's proof that it's born, is it? Or when the soul decides that it's... This is why I don't answer a lot of prediction questions, because the soul's journey is every moment that it chooses to make a choice. And you don't know what the new options that they have laid before them. I can only tell you the shit you can heal so that you can create new options to create better choices and have the strength to do so. Okay, now we have a 30-minute drawing that we do once a month, and that is 30 minutes free with me off air to heal, to talk, whatever. But the only way you can enter is to love and share publicly. So when I see the love button, I know you're serious. When I see you've shared, I know you're serious. And that means, yay, your name gets into the drawing. Now, what happens here also is if you Expedites. You know that here is a great thing here. There's no time lapse. You get to come on. You don't have to be seen. You can just be heard, right, Amy?
That's right.
And you have an opportunity to look at your shit, heal your shit right now. But you also can be of service to help other people that are listening, that they never knew they had options. Some of those groups out there, it's like, wow. I mean, I'd love to go in and answer, but I also know that I'm not. All I can do is put myself out there, and hopefully people will come to this situation, and then I can help. But they got to be able to hear me first. So then that is, you purchase and you get expedited, meaning I take care of you before I give the free minute reads. Your chance is getting into a 15-minute free reading here on the show. And you don't have to use it.
Help other people.
What's that?
That will also help other people.
That's the whole point too, is to help other people. People just don't know. And sometimes you do know, but you just need another hearing. I wish I had another perspective. There you go. But if you win it and you're like, but I don't want it, you can pass it on. It's yours to give away. But if you decide you don't want it, I can go back and pick another name. Now, we have what's called Bring a Friend. If you're new, you get one extra free reading. There's 1 minute. So you get 2. But if you're new and somebody brought you, you verify it. The person that brought you gets their name in a drawing for 8 minutes with me. And the person that's new and was brought gets 3 minutes. So there's a lot of good stuff here.
Okay.
Now, got a mess going on here. Spirit says, you got stuff distracting me. I says, well, I didn't think so, but I guess I do. Time to clean my space. Now, you still have time if you want a bobble wand before Christmas. You can't use sage in your house. You go and you sage your corners and you get it all going. Oh, I don't know how to use one. You can whip your hand. Or you can start to employ spirit and you will then begin to feel how it works. Oh, got to work on my chakras. Oh, God, I got a headache. Aim it. Let spirit take care of it. And see, now it's pointing. I can literally feel it point. That's work. My 6 chakras confused with my 3rd. And you're not going to be problems up here unless you have problems with your lower ones. Okay, now I got to finish. But opening and closing and cleansing and clearing each chakra will help you with your level of consciousness on your growth. Okay.
If you 10,000 miles away.
Yeah, you can use it like I can work on Amy right now. And it's not because, oh, she's magical. No, it's through the entanglement cord. It's like a wormhole. Okay, you can do it in many different little things. Oh, we're going to clean out the lymphatic system underneath your armpit there. I'm stuck doing this. But there's kit if you want, and that kit is you get one normal. Anyways, the other ones are magnetic tip. And then the other one is a infuser, and that is, see, I don't know if I can hold that up properly. See, I just can't get the angle. Back it up, yours up, back yours up. See, it's got a Q-tip on the end of it. And that's interchangeable. You pop that in and out. Thank you, Ames. You pop that in and out, and you dip it in the oil. Put it on the thing, get oil on it, and then you can go to your corners and bless the corners. You can use it on yourself. You can use it on your cat. Because with oils, when they're too strong, you don't want to get around babies or animals too much. So you can diffuse the scents as it goes out. Magnetics are great for those that have the acupuncture points that are not moving or open or any of that. So sometimes, instead of just getting a regular magnet, you can use a bubble on magnet. And so you can talk to Amy about all that. And I'm sure she's got a deal going on somewhere.
Yeah.
So anyways, you can get, and then you can have a personalized one. Why would you get a personalized one? Well, that is that, like, I will use just one on me, and it'll never be used on anybody else, and it'll be attuned to just me. So when you buy them and you want them, then I attune them with Reiki symbols, as well as a personal alignment with this. So if this one was going to be, then I have another one, let's say, and I want to seriously stop using them, Brenda. You move them. Like, this is mine. Before I found magnets that I can put at the tip. But I usually don't use this on anybody but me and my husband. Okay. Then there's the customized, and there's just ones I use on everybody because you just clean them afterwards, which I have to do the video for.
Nicole, send me a private message.
Yes, if you want them, then you talk to Amy, and she'll tell you the cost and everything else. And if you want it just a standard, then it's not that much. If you want it more personalized, it'd be a little bit smaller cost. But if you're buy a kit, that's a different price as well. Now, there's this whole part of moving forward. Okay, I understand why it's important to be in the tribe, because it has a lot to do with your ability to develop, but it all depends on where you are. Are you awakened? Are you awakening? Are you a turtle, a snail, or a rabbit? Depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. And there's no ways wrong and no ways right. It's just you will find the rhythm of how to get into the zone with your spirit to heal. That's what's important there too. Okay. And I still have no idea how they're doing it. But again, just like when Spirit said, go, I had no idea how to do what I'm doing because I had no computers, I had nothing. And now all of a sudden, so I've trusted. But the classes are coming. So if you want to take and get a shortcut, an activation, connecting with the new age of Aquarius that's here, then Saturday's meditation is important. How much is it? 36, 35? I can't remember. And it's not just a meditation. 36. It's not just a meditation. This is getting the rocks to set up the elevator to getting into the zone of it, whatever else needs to be told. 35. So that you can move into the direction you're looking for. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then we have the meditation. So, and sometimes people can't. And so when you watch it again, you can do it as many times as you want. You don't have to do the setup. You've already have it in your mind. You already have it set up in your mind, and then you can just do the meditation. So, okay. Christmas is coming. I haven't decided if let's see what we got here. I'm not sure if I'll do the 24th show, which is my Christmas Eve, would be yours the day before, which is your 23rd. I haven't decided if I'm doing that as of yet. I will know more later. We'll see what happens. But that might be the only day I probably won't do something. I'm not sure what we're doing. There is also a special that if you got to look for it on my fan page, but there is a Santa and a Rudolph. There's two options that you can purchase 3 months of a tribal with so much money off. I can't remember the discount. And then, or you can pay for 2 tribals and a 30-minute session with so much off. And people want deals. I'm sorry, I've already cut in a deal, because if I really wanted to charge what I normally charge or what I should be charging, it's quite a bit of money. but I've already discounted them exponentially so that you're basically getting it as cheap as possible, because I know what it's be because I was an American. I know what it was like for costs, and then I come over here and I feel like I'm undercutting other people that are doing what I'm doing, but I haven't met anybody doing what I'm doing yet. Um, and I'm cheap. But at the same time, I also know people, this is COVID. This is a holiday. So sometimes and they go, well, so what? And they go, well, those that do want to invest, but they don't have the money or they just have enough, I would rather make sure that I extended it out already to them so they can feel it. Now, I just have to make sure that whatever I'm doing, if there's enough people at what I'm doing, the cost will always be cheaper because it'll be spread out value wise, or not value wise, to receive the value back, to balance out without screwing up the karma. It is because you have to honor yourself and you have to honor the value of other people. Anyways, I don't know where we're going down that road. I'm ready. I'm getting